to get Russia on board. I thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tannock.
President, Madam High Representative, the ECR Group utterly condemns the barbaric atrocities perpetrated against innocent civilians, including women and children, by the al-Assad Ba'athist regime in Syria. Damascus has turned its paramilitary thugs against its own citizens. The so-called Shabiha are beyond control and are increasingly acting with total impunity. Their atrocities have actually shocked the international community and are reminiscent, in my view, of the unspeakable atrocities of the Balkans 20 years ago. Considering the rapidly deteriorating situation, it is clear that the Annan Plan now has sadly failed. So Russia must now step up and use its unique leverage on Damascus to effect change and reverse its Security Council veto, thus unblocking the path for robust international action on Syria and prevent further bloodshed, and pave the way, hopefully, for a democratic regime change with Assad well gone. Russia must be aware of its credibility now is seriously at stake in the Arab world. China will surely follow the Russian lead. Clearly, the international community must now look to the Arab League for guidance, but I am not sure about Saudi Arabia and Qatar alone, because they are not entirely credible in my view, as they are not true democracies and they are far too close, in fact politically speaking, in even arming the Salafists. The Syrian National Council must be now more united. We must work on that. So all options are open to the West, including now an arms embargo and even limited military intervention to protect further civilian atrocities. All this must remain on the table to avert further descent into an all out sectarian civil war or even a Rwanda or Srebrenica style genocide. We should also consider proposing a fresh resolution in the Security Council to indict al-Assad and his henchmen before the ICC. Turkey, of course, is a key player and ultimately is a democracy with the military might to intervene if it so wishes at its borders to impose a humanitarian safe corridor if necessary. Iran, which is dragging its feet, as you well know, High Rep, with the EU and the IAEA over nuclear negotiations, will do everything it can to support its Damascus ally and its proxy Hezbollah. But the EU has no interest whatsoever, Mrs Brantner, in supporting either of these two brutal regimes. Iran does not belong in the contact group, I am sorry.
Mr. Belder.
Thank you, President. In Syria, this year, more Christians have been murdered than in the period between